All right, hey everyone, today what we're going to do is we're going to look at a thing called a poster study, which is really just shapes. That's what we're going to be going after today. So one of the things I want to start with here, these are poster studies, and these are a practice that I did a lot when I was coming out of my training. We did them at the atelier. I did it privately, studying in a couple other places with other individuals, and you're going to see how it all kind of ties together in just a minute. So this is by Tony Ryder, and I took a workshop with him. I ended up buying his poster study at the end, and to me it was just a perfect example of simplicity. And really what it is a study of the light and the shapes, and how the picture comes together just in this simple way. Now this is the one that I did. And, there's a little bit more detail. So it's tough to get rid of detail. But as you look at Tony's, you can see that it's just, we can identify it as a portrait. You don't quite see it at the beginning. But getting into the habit of doing these often is just fantastic. This is on Arches paper. I hate Arches paper. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing it. But the good thing about that is that, easy to store. Now, what this was for was to then take and use. It was kind of the first run in many ways. Artists use them for all different things, and some people will use them as the basis to work out the picture. That's the old master way of doing it. Some will use it as just a little study off to the side, kind of first run through. Whatever it is, this is a simplified version of this. We get carried away with details. We're not going to get carried away with details in what we're doing today. We're going to study really the essence of the shapes, the design. And that's what we're going to take a look at. So that is one that I did back in the day. So what we're going to do is a thing called poster study, and I think it's just, to me, probably one of the best exercises anyone could do. These are just a couple master copies. I'm going to do one of these in front of you today. And this is just done, no drawing, just me kind of going for it. Both of these, actually. And that's really what it is. What can we dissect from it? If we have a little bit of information about the artist, maybe we want to play with the tools they were doing. And then from this, you could either do a master copy or you could extract data just from this. But you can see it's shape-driven. There's no face, very much like what Tony Ryder is doing here, and which that still is the design of the picture, just as shapes. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get in here and we're going to take a look at some things that inspire us. Find an image that you are excited to study. Now, what I do every time I go somewhere is I get a postcard from a museum, and that's what this is. So these are just wherever it is that I've been, or whatever inspired me at the museum, or if somebody mailed me one. I've got some in the past, but really the things that have just really inspired me, and I put them together and I look back at them often because this is me. This is not anyone telling me what I should like. If anything, I know a lot of people that wouldn't like some of these images. So the thing that we must jump into then is, why is it that I like these images? And that's not for anybody else to dissect but you. And for me, it's like a range of styles across the board, of just things that I put together. When I open magazines and I see, an Robert Henri painting of the Bouguereau from the, I think it's the Chrysler Museum in Virginia. Here we have a Child Hassam painting, absolutely gorgeous. Child Hassam. Another Bouguereau at the Clark Museum. Vermeer, of course, this is from the museum in California. I forget the name of it. Anyway, no matter where you go, you can kind of get stuff and be inspired. When I open magazines, again, if I am always actively looking, which I am, I mean, look at the design of this. It's gorgeous. So what I'd recommend is find a couple paintings. I mean, Andrew Wyeth was all about design. Look at the limited palette. What I would recommend is to get into the habit of just collecting. Look at that. Look at the spirit of this. Someone you've probably never heard of, but just absolutely phenomenal artist. So I'm going to put a couple of these ones that I feel like are good designs. And again, these are fantastically designed by Wyeth, but almost no color. Today what I would do is play a little bit of color. So, you know, Zorn, that's an Abbey. This one is Sir William Nicholson. This is a Homer. I love Homer's work. Such juicy paint when I go see it. There we go. Here's a Whistler that was at the Frick. Here's a Wyeth, right? Again, these, I'm not recommending anyone to go find all these images. These are ones that when I saw and I found a postcard of, or just something that spoke to my heart, I put aside so that I could study them deeper. So here we have Joseph Wright of Derby. Fascinating, right? But look at it on the backside. Solomon Joseph Solomon. And then just some stuff from a recent trip that spoke to me. I think Robert Vana, no, Child Hassam. Again, there's just a picture of from the Brandy House of Wyeth's museum. There's a Monet, of course. So, you know, everywhere I go, I collect. And then I put it on the wall and I think, why is it that I like this image, right? Look at the design of this. Look at the simpleness of this, right? That's exciting. Maybe I'll do that one, right? So what speaks to you? And it could change every day. Maybe you have, you know, paintings that you want to put aside and then begin to kind of work your way through. But a lot of all painting, in my opinion, is self-reflection. There's a you in here. That is not what I am. Different things that would speak to me that could speak to you, and that's really what it is. So here's some images that just spoke to me from even looking through the ones that have always speak to me. These are two that I hang on my wall and I look at all the time. And just look at the color in here, right? Look at the isolation of the image. Look at the design. It's beautifully designed. All of these images are just wonderfully designed. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to take one of these images. You know, Podhast is a great one to look at, by the way, because there's no detail in there. There's just a beautiful picture. And it speaks to me every time I see it. I just think it's wonderful. So what I want you to do is find something that speaks to you and do a quick little painting of it. Now, what we're not going to do is we're not going to take and trace this over to here. What we just went through is a series of exercises in which you should feel pretty confident about your drawing. And if you're not, great place to keep trying. So always work on your confidence and jump right in. These are low stakes. I'm going to try to knock this out in probably something like 40 minutes. So I'm going to get my materials ready and then we'll start.